So, I mean, I guess we could do that. We could say hello for the first time, right? Is that all right, Sean? All right.
I've talked on that many times. I
Okay.
just get lazy.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Hello, hello, hello. What ho! Welcome back to another exciting adventure of Plain Truth. I'm your host, Travis Finlay. This is Selling the Ætherband. With me is with me is Sean G, making the trek all the way up from where?
San Diego.
San Diego, beautiful San Diego. I don't know why he left it because is it this smoggy and crappy down there?
Of course.
Is it? Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to set you guys up, and we're just going to have a conversation. Hopefully, the audio is going to transfer over great. So let me hook up the battery. All right. Nobody's watching yet, which is awesome. Um, yeah. Okay. So ask your questions.
Alright. So when you're out here, so we can see some oil rigs on that side.
Right.
But you were stating on the left super hazy. So I kind of asked the question of, in this situation, what we're looking at, what is Ethernet?
Yeah.
So you were saying kind of everything in between where we are.
Yeah. I don't know that I would consider the smog a part of the Ætherband per se. Um, it's more of the effect because the smog is not going to be refraction, right?
No,
It's not gonna it's yeah. So when I use the infrared lens, it cuts through all that shit and I can see the oil platform a little bit clear or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So the Ætherband basically is simply everything that we're looking through right now. I know that that would include that in the distance, but whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So everything that we're seeing right now is the air. The air is the medium through which we're looking.
Yep.
And if we're going to isolate a smaller, narrower focus on those platforms, that's still going to be the Ætherband that we're looking through, but it's going to be a more narrow focus.
Yeah, we're going to be looking through it more at a more fine tune.
And like this morning was the first time that I got any inferior miraging on the Gina platform.
Okay.
I've been here for 11 days and I haven't had, I wouldn't even say, I can't remember having inferior mirage. Okay. It's been distortion, it's been refraction,
yeah,
but not an inferior mirage. And yesterday morning, I had a massive, massive Fata Morgana with a boat that was doubled on itself and going right in front of Gina. Gina was doubled on itself. It was just a beautiful Fata Morgana.
This
So
is where you're doing your shots all the
well,
time you see online, or
actually, when you came in and you said that you were just passing the Emerald State Beach, right there, the very first opportunity to park.
Yeah.
That's where I set up.
Okay, and from there you can see these ones a little bit better, right?
Yeah. Well, it depends. I don't know. When I left there to come up here for setting up, when I got here and looked back, I couldn't see it as clear.
Okay.
So that might be the case.
The first time, I could see those two oil rigs really clear.
Yeah.
But then as I came up, everything started getting the haze started coming in a little bit. But it looks like it's clean up. I couldn't see that for a while ago.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying, but from what I'm seeing now, it's actually a lot easier to explain things right here. Like the body of water we're looking at, I don't see a point that would give you an idea of not doing what we're actually looking at.
Well, I don't really use that language of not what we're looking at. I'm not really sure who came up with saying that's not what we're looking at. I'm trying to think of who that would be. I mean, seriously, I'm trying to think. You know what? The only person that I can think of is Dean. And when Dean mentions it, I want to kick puppies. I want to kick puppies because I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? That's what we see. So if you think about, if I held up, two fingers and you crossed your eyes, you would see four fingers.
Yeah.
Right? You see that. That's what you see.
Yeah.
but the optical um, effect that you are producing with your eye, there aren't really, so I guess you could say there aren't really 4 fingers there, but you are seeing 2 fingers.
Well, yeah, instead of the optic balancing, they're showing individually what they see.
So let's see if we can get anything.
Yeah, because I was looking online, and you don't see this. You don't see where these all are.
No, well, if you go on Google Earth and you're top down and you're going to zoom in, you've got dark blue circles. That's them, but these are not. These don't show up, and I have no clue why not. But I don't know if you heard in my stream earlier today when I was using Marine Tracker, I figured out that I could see where the location of the oil of the freighter was, and if the freighter was passing behind the rig, then that's going to be the same distance.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
So let me just look to see if I can give something right now to. All right, so here we go. So right now, I would say we've got a great shot. Okay. Now that it could be possible that this upper crane is stretching.
Okay.
It could be.
Yeah.
So I don't really care to say, well, that's not reality. I'm seeing it's right there. It's right there.
It is the reality.
You know what I mean? And so to me, that's kind of like people talking about, well, what's the temperature? I don't really care about the temperature because the temperature is not going to explain what I'm seeing. It's going to explain that it's the.
Okay, so,
I think that there is an aspect in which that data is going to be important in the future, but this is what I tried to say to Rumpus in Ranty's stream last Thursday. Was if I give you my location and the distance to the object, if I give you the temperature, he says I can tell you if it's going to be an inferior mirage or a superior mirage or whatever. That's not what I care about. I don't care if you want to tell me that it's going to be an inferior mirage.
You know the object is happening.
I want you to predict what that's going to look like in the inferior mirage.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying.
Is it going to be compressed? Is it going to be looked at that data?
Because I don't think that can happen. You can predict an inferior mirage, but you can't say what it's going to do to that object.
I don't know that you can predict it.
Well, that's his claim.
I don't think it'd be a prediction.
Well,
if it was a prediction, you're trying to make a guess on something that hasn't happened yet. But we know it's there.
It's supposed to, I suppose, comport with what they understand weather to do.
Okay.
You've got air temperature, you've got humidity, and all of those things. In those kinds of conditions, it creates this kind of effect. Again, I call BS, dude. I don't believe it because I've been on the Chesapeake Bay. I've been here. Yesterday, when I showed up, it felt like the same morning as it was before.
Yeah.
And yet I'm seeing a Fata Morgana out of, and I'm like, like, what the hell? So I was even interested. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of interested, like, how the hell would that happen? Not only that, the reason why I would need a team is because back that way, there is it right there? Oh, there it is. You see where we can see the southbound cars coming out right there?
Yeah.
Right there is a nice little shoulder, and you're 400 feet up.
Okay.
So I found that the other day, took some shots coming this way. Back down that way, I found a 20-mile observation, and back on the foothill road where I take coming from my grandmother's house to come out here, I got a clear view of those platforms. So the other day, I tracked from Gina, and I had Horizon in the background. I had the Anacapa Island with Horizon in the background. I tracked Gina. There was a freighter going behind Gina, took some snapshots, and the freighter went behind Grace. So the thing is that if I'm looking from here to Gina and she's in a storm, she's in an inferior mirage.
Okay.
If I have someone back at the other location shooting, what the hell is that going to look like?
Yeah. Okay.
Is it going to be clear?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is it going to give you that same image?
Because I can't then go teleport over there and then take a shot. There's no way it's going to be gone by the time I get there.
Okay, I see exactly what you're saying. You want to see, if we're looking at we're seeing mirage happen on these rigs over here. You want to know 10 miles up the road, what am I seeing of those rigs?
Yeah.
Am I seeing that same mirage?
Yeah.
Because if I'm not seeing that same mirage.
Because not only that, you might not even be taking a picture, but if you could give the temperature there, like if the temperature here is 65 and the temperature up there is 60, does that make a fucking difference? 5 degrees?
Yeah.
Does it? I don't know. I don't know.
It could.
But that's a shit ton of investigation.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, so let me get this straight. So the Ætherband is just, we're talking about that. What we see and verifying if it's Ætherband or not is the other side, is the different location of it.
It's not verifying if it's the Ætherband. So again, I could have used the word atmosphere. I did not use the word atmosphere because it has the word sphere in it. That's not why I didn't do it. When I was, go ahead.
You got your phone? Yeah. And then come this way. Because that camera's on right there.
That's okay. Live streaming right there.
Part.
All right, guys, just checking. Got 9 watching. Come on, 1 thumb, 9 watching. People.
Come on, guys.
People. Do it right. Do it right. All right, there you go. Get a nice shot of the flora there. Chatting again, if you are here for the first time, chatting with Sean G about making observations over distance, looking through the Ætherband. Yeah, Hannah, we already had Sean on. You're going to have to watch the beginning of the stream. So again, we're looking through the Ætherband. The Ætherband is there.
Yeah.
There's no question. It's just that whether or not people like the term.
Yeah.
So my whole reason when I started to rethink the term was all of my observations are demonstrating to me that there is an alternative explanation for what we call obstruction. Whether it is boats going over the curve, whether it is an oil platform that is obstructed, whether it's an island that's obstructed. Okay, the obstruction is always refractive. It's never due to physical curvature.
But what about the situation where we don't see refraction?
Well, we do. So again, that question is a good question, but we would have to have an example where you would say, okay, I have an example where I think that there's this, right? In my opinion, on those days, you're going to see more of the object. You're not going to see less.
Okay, that's what you're saying. So if we had 0 conditions.
Like right here, like I just showed you that. I just showed you the base of that oil platform.
Yes.
Right. So right now, as you're looking at it, can you see the base with your eyes? No, I can't either. Right? Can't either.
Yeah.
So we can't say anything. I could actually say those are over the curve, bro. Look at them. You can't even see the bottom.
If I'm looking at these two, I did notice when I came up, it was actually a little bit more clear than it is right now. I could see the stilts almost.
Yeah.
But on, say, like these other ones I did, to me, they look further out. And I don't think
That's what's crazy.
So I don't think I'm going to see the stilts of those at all right now.
That's what's crazy. Those are 12 miles away.
Okay.
Those are 12 miles away. And the one back there is 12 miles away.
Is that from here or each point off?
Well, both. I mean, between here and the one that's there, it's 5 miles up.
Yeah.
I did a point on the. This is just with Google Earth. I chose Rincon and I chose Emmawood.
Okay.
From the beach to Anacapa, it's 19, 20 miles, give or take. It's a mile difference.
Where's Anacapa from here?
To your left. You can't see it. It's in the shit.
Okay, but that would be between the beach and that.
Uh-huh. Okay. So the fact that all of these are relatively 11 to 13 miles away,
we're in the same range,
and you can see the stilts here, but not here, that's the Ætherband.
What creates not being able to see
That's correct. Or being able to see it, because it could be magnifying it. It could be bringing it closer to you.
So right Now, if you zoom in on this part,
Let me get the IR one.
See, I see what you're saying. Because you say, when I say, you're doing shitty thing, you're saying it's Etherman. You're saying you don't know if you're going to see the limit. Again, the Etherman is a very broad term of it, right? Again, it's not pinning anything down.
The Ætherband simply refers to the air as the medium through which we look, and all of the components that make it up for that day. If it's going to be hot, humid, windy, whatever. And then the band simply refers to how large you're going to make your field of observation. So the band can be the entire field of view, or a smaller, narrow. Why don't you come back this way, Sean, real quick? Let me try to. It's tricky, man. When I have all three of these things up, it's tricky. All right.
But today, during the day, from this spot, are there points in the day where you get a much clearer view of everything?
Yeah.
It has more meaning.
There's no rhyme or reason. None. None.
It happens, it happens. Yeah. That's, since you're from this area, you understand. I don't like the book very much because it's literally cloudy most of the time. But today, it's actually a great day out there.
It's been absolutely better than this.
Okay.
Today was like the worst day that I've seen, because the fog rolled in and was sitting there for forever. And huh?
Never backed off.
No, it didn't. All right, so what I'm doing right now, this is the camera. This is the P900 BMLS 69.
Okay.
He let me borrow his IR. He's got a P1000 that he uses, and this is the P9. This is the IR. Yeah, I love this. It's awesome. The stuff that you can see with this. If that were clear, you'll have to see my channel later on. I'm gonna post it. The island looks just absolutely amazing. All right, so there's. I think this is platform Gale. All right, so that's the part of the zoom right there. Okay, so I can. Part of my assumption is that's not to scale. It's kind of like trying to think back what I said before. What did I say to you before about those over there? I think I showed you.
Would it be possibly stretching?
Yeah. So because that I think it was that middle platform, and to me, it looked like, because I've watched him enough.
Yeah.
It looked too big.
Okay.
It looked like it was too big.
All right,
not only that, dude, Grace was going crazy the other day. Okay, so I had her in my sights, and her tower like that in the middle was this big.
That was the picture you had where it was like super stretching, and then the frame layer was like a bare top of thin layer. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can't get any closer right now than that. I can't get any clearer with this. But I think, can you see the pilings at the bottom? Can you see that space between? Yeah, I can see it just a little bit too. So what we would need to do is, in an hour, take another shot and see if we can see more or less. And then tomorrow I'll be here, the next 3 days. So I'm going to just be taking a shit ton of pictures over and over and over again. So, as much as Jose is busting my balls about looking at bad footage, there is no bad footage, because
that's the thing that I just realized. I'm looking at it, and I can see what I can see from here, but I'm also looking through your camera, and it brings to light what you see online. Because online, I see what the camera sees, not what you see, but the camera sees. So you're explaining what you see, but we're seeing what the camera sees. And I can see where that's the
sure.
Mix. That's the change.
Yeah, because I'm looking here, and then I'm looking here, and I'm mixing both of them together.
Yeah, but your description is going to be, I see this. When I look in the camera, I see this, and that's the camera view. And
Yeah.
then, you know what I mean? So distinguishing the two, seeing it now, I see exactly what you're saying. Mirror, I can almost say, if I can see that far, I can see the pylons. I can see those. You can see the top of them, and then it looks thin. But when I look, like I said, I look over at the ones you were just looking at, and I don't think I can see the pylon. But you also just showed me you can see the pylon.
Right. So, yeah. So if you think about that, I suppose just to kind of flesh out what we're talking about. And Alicia, are you thirsty? Are you okay? Have a seat wherever you want. I'll move the umbrella if you want to.
I would like a beer.
Oh yeah. Well, you said you didn't drink.
Well, I drink when special occasions.
All right, special occasions. Alicia, do you want a beer as well? Okay. You wouldn't happen to have a bottle opener on you, would you? I have. Do you? What's funny is I normally wear a steel ring that I can pop it myself, and I left it at the house. So how'd you get tied in with this knucklehead? I know that. I said, how'd you get tied up with him? Oh, okay. All right. We'll leave that. We'll leave that for the mystery.
No, he asked how we got tied up. I said, you probably don't want to know.
Bad luck. Lots of bad luck. Both sides. Both sides of the actually had bad luck.
I'm using a lighter. I haven't seen that one.
High school way.
Hey, let me try it. I don't even know I can do this. I don't think I can figure out the leverage.
Oh,
It's there. You gotta get right into the little notches. That's from high school.
I didn't drink in high school. I can't do it. Open my beer for me.
No problem. You're being honest.
Sweet.
I don't know if it's a good thing.
Everybody drink, right?
Sir? Yeah.
Except for Alicia.
Someone's got to drive.
Yes, there you
All right, so I think I can show you those two sets of platforms as a contrast because the ones on the left are a little bit farther away.
go. Yeah, but I see what you're saying, though. That they may be further away, but yeah, they are in that range of not that far away in distance from where we are right now.
We'll do this.
So I see. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to get the difference between it is very makes more sense looking at it.
And there's a couple here, a young couple. I mean, I think they're probably like 23 maybe. And he was taking pictures of her with his iPhone. I'm like, hey, you guys want me to take pictures for you?
Yeah,
And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, go. So I set my stuff up on the beach and had them walk down.
Yeah.
Like, it was pretty fun.
Oh, nice.
All right, let me try to balance this out.
I also realized what Jose sees
Uh huh.
is going to be different conditions than what we're looking for right now.
Yeah.
Because he's in Florida.
I know, dude. I know. I tell I'm not calling him Jose a knucklehead.
Oh, yeah.
People who were like, why don't, or no, I'm gonna call Timmy O.
What?
Timmy O.
Yeah.
Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Dry.
Yeah.
Dude, I could do it. I'm like, dude, you're not even in the same geographical location as I am, man.
I think that could be it. I see
Like,
what you're
it's not
saying
even
now
comparable.
about this because the past couple of days Jose's been saying, obviously, the pillars are clear. I see what you're working with now. When I think about Jose doing it, he's looking through much cleaner air.
That's true. Can you see those? Okay.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so these are the ones that are closer to us.
Mhm.
Got a nice shot of the base right there, right?
Yep.
The next one, nice shot of the base. Nice shot of the two or whatever, two main ones. These ones are dropped down. They're farther away.
Mhm.
I don't think if I zoomed in, that could just be different color. I don't know. That one might look like I can see it. But see, that's where refraction's coming in. Refraction is blurring these images.
So right off the water line is actually miraging happening.
It could be, but I don't want to equate distortion with miraging.
Yeah, you need to see it on the computer first.
Yeah.
Is what? Okay.
What was I else going to say? I was going to say something else, but maybe you can even just see from here.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that are larger
Yep.
are closer to us.
Yes.
Ones that are smaller are farther away.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is that I do have photos from that beach up that way where I can see the base of all of them.
Okay. Even the
far ones. Even the far ones. Yeah. Great days. So, what else, man?
I see exactly. Okay. I'm trying to see what you're saying because what you showed me, like I said, I don't get to see these rigs. I don't get to see the camera views. I don't have a camera like that. But I see what you're saying. You look at that one, and yeah, I didn't see as much, but we also see conditions.
Right. Well, even if I use my camera, it would be clouded over because of the shit that's on the water.
Just the haze.
But that's what the IR is for. The IR cuts through that, and you can see
You can see the rules of it.
the yep.
But I would say on that, we're not seeing all of it. But they are. When you see all of those.
Again, it depends on the clarity of the conditions. Yeah, I mean, the island should be right there.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I can't even see the outline, and I know what to look for.
Yeah.
But if you can kind of see, like the width of your pinky, that height, it just goes straight across. That's just trapped there. It's been there all day. I mean, you can see the line right there, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got that chemtrail right there, and then blue sky.
I'm in that ballpark, but not quite that ballpark. I see what you're saying there. And I even see even more what you're saying with you be here, take the same image at this location, and see if that miraging changes, see if that optic changes.
Yeah.
And I see what you're saying. You're not saying outright, that's the Ætherband, that's not refraction. You're not saying any of that. You're saying what's happening there to there is your question of the Ætherband. It's what is it?
I still think we're not singing the same song.
If we're gonna say that would be from the water and everything above that in your realm of Ætherband, right?
So we're looking at the water. The water is going into the distance.
Yeah.
We see the limit of that water.
Yes. Okay. The horizon. Yeah.
So the clarity of the water as it goes farther and farther away from us. Like if there was a boat, that would be easier for us to do right now. If we could see a boat right now, and it's got crisp edges, but it starts to move away. The point at which it moves away is either going to be distorted because of the failure of your eye. Like my eyes are going to shit. Like I've got to wear glasses, right? So I'm not going to have the same ability for you to. Our accuracy is not going to be as clear farther out. But that's not the Ætherband distorting the image, right? There is an aspect in which the boat is going to be distorted because the air quality is increasing.
It's changing.
Yeah, right. You're adding distance, and you're adding the density of the medium. So everything that we're looking through right now is the air.
Yeah.
Okay. If we just want to call the Ætherband air again, this is all Ætherband. Everything that we're looking at is Ætherband. Now, when we zoom in on those objects, that's going to isolate and focus. If there is, right, the Ætherband is the cause of all of the effects. Distortion, refraction, mirage, haze. Not haze like that. That's not the haze I'm talking about. Haze is again just an aspect of distortion. Because there's a difference between heat haze. Heat haze.
Yeah,
Heat haze, like if we're gonna Like if there's an inferior mirage right here, but up above the object, it's distorted and wavy.
Yeah.
Like when you're watching stuff go get crazy, that's heat haze.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all of that stuff is caused by the air. But again, my term for Ætherband is exclusively focusing on providing an alternative explanation for why things appear to disappear from the bottom up.
But then at that point, wouldn't you need to detail your explanation inside that Ætherband? I see what you're saying, and it makes sense that everything we're looking at is the Ætherband. But in that Ætherband would explain why we see so much of that one, but we don't see so much of the ones to the left.
That's what the Smurf I'm talking about, dude. I'd have to have a team down at that oil rig, a team at that oil rig, a team at that oil rig, giving me all that data.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, like you just pointed out, you can't see with clarity here, but you can here,
Yeah.
or with more.
And I would say these are in the same range.
And I would guess that the temperature is not going to be that different. I don't think it's going to be that different. I just don't. Now, that's where that kind of investigation and
I don't think Rumpus, I don't think Barney can do the data part, the data prediction part you're saying, between these two.
Yeah.
I can see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
There is a difference, but I don't think numbers or temperatures is going to help out.
So I did what I did this morning with Gina, because she was in an inferior mirage, and it was a small inferior mirage. So let's pretend this is Gina. The inferior mirage for her was down here.
Yeah.
So that if this is her whole body, right? I've seen the inferior mirage cut her in half.
Yeah.
And then you've got, because she has a crane that sticks out like this, and I've seen it in a V. Okay, but I saw the V down here this morning. So it should only be one thing. But when you see the V, you know it's an inferior mirage.
Yeah.
But it was low. Okay, so I'm shooting that for a while, and then I go over to these, same hour, same distance, and there's absolutely no inferior mirage, and some pretty classy, clear pictures.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing too. If it's the same temperature gradient, right? I don't know, dude. It's huge. Absolutely huge. I would walk away from my life if I could do this kind of investigation. If I could commit myself to this.
You take a boat out there near
Yeah. Yeah. As a matter of fact, one of the guys, Joe Mama, who's in a lot of the chats, he's down in Oxnard Shores, and when I told him I was coming out, he's like, dude, I got a boat. And his boat took a ship. He should be ready on Wednesday. But I saw a pleasure cruise, a pleasure boat named Jackie C, and she was clipping along. I got a nice sailboat today too. But Jackie C was clipping along, and I was thinking, you know what? I wonder if I could call the marina and ask them if there's a contact, and I'd hire the boat.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking, if I rented a boat and you had the picture going out,
Yep.
I also had the picture going in,
Yep.
and distance.
Yeah.
That changes a big everything.
Yeah. But that takes time, schedules and time. You know how hard it is to have a hangout sometimes. Oh, dude, I can't. I'm busy, whatever. I got to work.
That's one thing I started doing that job. And now I don't spend all of it. Now it's just like keep grabbing things. And here's the problem I have. Davros, Kraft, all those guys.
Yeah.
They're like 13-year-old boys. I'm trying to have grown-up conversations. And the whole 20 minutes of my first stream, you want to talk about balls and shit. I'm like, you guys keep doing that? I was in the Discord.
Like teabag balls?
Yes, just the whole line. Just for 20 minutes. I'm going, you guys sound like Red's rhetoric and all of that. And I'm not going to have that shit. I want to have a regular conversation. And so the last 2 streams I've had in the past week and a half, I've been having, I had Barney.
Barney's good. I like Barney.
Oh, yeah.
I like Barney a lot.
Marty Moose.
Yeah.
He suggested, he said, hey, you should talk to Barney and have him like a co-host my streams. So just every time when Barney's there, I'll ask a lot of fun questions and Barney's able to explain it. He was like, you should have him like a co-host. You guys should start doing stuff that way. And that's the direction I want to go. Because, let's face it, I may disagree with everything you think this earth is, but there's a way that we have this conversation. And that's the other thing, Travis. The Erebus thing, that's Erebus. I get it. I'm involved because I'm there, it was on my screen. That's not how I roll. That's why when we had that long talk about it, that was my style. That's how I want it. But when he goes, here's the gotcha, it throws it off. It makes you bitter, it makes me bitter, it makes everyone bitter. And the reality is I'm trying to figure that shit out too. Yeah. How am I going to tell you that your observations look like when I come out here and go, yeah, they look the same distance, same area, but yeah, I see that clear. I don't see that one clear. I don't see the one out there clear. How can you
And again, you know, come back in 2 days, and it's going to be a completely different scene. You know, you'll be able to see. I mean, it's crazy, man. It was yesterday morning when I came up the 101 out of Santa Paula, and I came right past the San Buenaventura beach where the ocean first becomes really visible. You can just look out and see it. The island was just boom right in my face, man. It was crazy.
From there, the island right now is super hazy. You can barely see it. You can kind of see an outline.
Yeah. Well, I think that's because the sun.
Yeah.
You've got a shed. It's got a little silhouette, maybe.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah. Because that's what's happening with those guys right there. You've got a dark silhouette, and hopefully it's not too bad. I think that these guys are going to give us a nice show tonight. Because on Thursday, from what I can remember, it was a pretty clear evening. And those, I'm telling you, I still have to go back and process that stupid video.
Yeah, at night when the fog rolls in, does it roll past?
It depends. Okay. I mean, like today, when I got here, when I was driving out of Santa Paula, blue skies.
Yeah.
Blue skies. As soon as I hit the 101, blanket.
That's not the California beaches.
You know? But that was the first time in 10 days.
Okay.
First time in 10 days that it had that. Every other day, though, when I first got here, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I thought, man, this is going to be a shit week.
Yeah, because remember the first day you came out the stream, you went, crap, it's not worth being out here. Okay.
But I tell you what, I was supposed to leave on Friday.
Yeah. And
I got my money shots on Friday and Saturday. Had I left. So it was worth it.
Come out here quite often.
I've been coming out more often. Last year I came out for the first time. This last week, my grandmother fell and hurt herself, and my mom's been taking care of her, so I came out to help.
Okay.
And when I was able to be free, I came down and took shots. So that's why I wanted to come back this year, same time, to get comparable shots. Nothing is absolutely nothing is the same. So, okay, nothing on BMLS 69. I think he's a great guy. Okay, Bo is awesome. Okay, kick my ass in construction any day, right? Dude's a monster. But I don't have an oil platform with the base blocked. I have the oil platform blocked entirely, except for the rigging that's at top. So if you can imagine that one on 1, 2, 3, you can see the 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Imagine that's the only thing you can see. But the day before, or let's say this, right now you can see the whole thing.
Yep.
Tomorrow, you can only see the top. I've got that shit, man.
It's a change in everything you're seeing. So, okay. So when we're telling you, well, if that rudder rig is 12 miles off, you should see this much. And you're going, okay, motherfucker, but when I look at it, 7 times out of a week, I see 4 different of those things.
7 different things.
Which one is what
fucking really A, you got it, dude. That was it right there, man. That's it.
I see
which one's the one?
I see what your question is. Your Ætherband does not say none of this isn't real. Your Ætherband doesn't say that none of this is fake. Your Ætherband says
you don't know what the fuck you're gonna get. Surprise! That's it, man. Yeah, so, that's it.
So when we get to the point of Travis, to me that's destruction by physical body of water. You're going, cool, whatever, fine. But you're saying, well, take out of these 7 pictures and tell me which one of it is the correct option that you would see.
That's right. Yep. That's it, man. You hit the nail on the head.
Damn it, Travis, you're right. Couldn't kill Etherbrand.
That's not what yeah, that's what I'm,
different options for it.
you know.
No, the problem is I'm going. What I'm thinking is everything that makes that image look like it does is we can explain it through different types of refraction, different numbers to give us a range, but I didn't take into account. Well, of these 7 days, you tell me which one is the actual optic you would see, and I don't think Barney or Gumpus can give you numbers that would say that is the actual image.
Not to castigate. I'll castigate Rumpus, but I won't castigate Barney. It's an armchair quarterback. Oh man, he should have. He should have ran the. Why did he do that? You're like, dude, you're not out there. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you're not. When I get the whole money part, you can't be here every day. But if I can get you the money to be here every day, then we can start talking about what would every day do. So
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it's not just every day, it's all day, every day. Because every hour is different. And I had to sit down and stop looking. So I started to wind down. I was going to start reading some EDU stuff. And I looked up and I see the sailboat and I'm like, so I start shooting the sailboat. And then I see an oil tanker and I'm like, man, dude, I gotta like not look. I gotta not look. But then I might miss something. I might miss something.
Are there campsites along these hills up here?
No, there's no public access. There is right when you pass out of Ventura. The last exit before Ojai is Main Street. If you get off on Main Street and take a left, there's a construction site, but it's all private property. I drove over there because I was going to drive up, but it's private property, and I just didn't want to mess with that.
Yeah, 'cause I was driving and I'm thinking that's a really
But
good location.
yeah. But what I'm saying right now is over there, you've got 400 feet elevation. So tomorrow, depending on if this gets better, I'm definitely going to come back and plant and do some shots from there.
Definitely give you some wider spread of what you're seeing. You may even explain a little bit more what you're seeing under because I see the argument. The difference between what we're seeing versus the camera sees. The thing I see is that the camera's going to be a tool. It's going to give us a better optic of it. But again, like I just had epiphany on, it's your different days, different outcomes of each day. Camera or no camera? That is what your question. Which one? Which one is what the load says it would be? Which one is it, or which one is it that we're actually looking at?
Yeah. Let me just check my screen real quick. I have no idea what's going on. Hey, what's going on, everybody? We got Addie's out there. Addie, how you doing? We got 15 watching. Great. How's the audio? Are you guys getting our conversation? Hopefully you are. You guys are lagging on the thumbs. I need 7 more thumbs, please. That's Sean G. Got 16 watching. Thanks so much, everybody. All right. Again, real quick. 5. Yeah, muffled sometimes. I know. It's Bluetooth. So what were some of the things that I was thinking of? Like when I first got here, I was trying to set up a remote stream. I tried to start the stream at my grandmother's house.
Yeah.
Send myself the invite. Be the host.
Yeah.
But then be a guest.
On Meet.
On Zoom, actually. I think I tried Zoom first. I don't think I did Meets. I did StreamYard, and I did Zoom, and they both took a shit.
StreamYard's new. I have no idea how that one works.
Everything's off-site. You don't do anything on StreamYard except Smile. Okay. They do everything on their web browser.
I have no idea about it, but so like I was thinking about doing that too. That was what I was going to do. I forgot to download on my computer. So the remote, like you're saying, like so you can access your computer from your phone. And I've done it a couple times. It's kind of stressful, where you go remote style, so you're actually on your computer. So you can do that. You have your computer now. You do this right now, where you can start your OBS. You can start to stream everything on your computer from here, and then just on that Meet, you would then become your guest on that Meet, and use your camera, for the audio and camera.
Right.
You'd be streaming from home.
Yeah.
You have to use your Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
You would use the Wi-Fi because you're in that tall, but you're not having to execute all that damage. It's actually the best way to do it.
That's what I was trying to do, and
Yeah.
it just didn't work.
It takes a couple times to get used to it and how to do it.
What's the program that you're looking at?
Well, I use Windows, so I have Windows.
No, but on your phone.
On my phone, I was
Is it the same? Is it Android? Do you have an Android?
I was using my girl's iPhone. That's the iPhone 10. Even then, like I've never really streamed on my phone. You're streaming right now? I've never done that like 3 months.
This is just YouTube. It's really easy.
Yeah,
It's basic.
But when it comes to the Wi-Fi, how the Wi-Fi laps on it, I'm scared of Wi-Fi. I used to stream on Wi-Fi when I lived in the mountains, and my streams always jumped up around like that. So it scares me. So I use Ethernet cable, so I don't worry about this. So when it comes to the phone, I don't ever stream on it. Like I was gonna stream right now, but so if I did it on my phone, I wouldn't know the quality of it. I wouldn't know how to come out. But if I use my remote way, I know exactly how to come out. So it's not, the quality I can OBS. Yeah. And it runs perfect. You just gotta do it a couple times and get used to it. Okay. Yeah, but that's green yard, all that stuff. That's definitely have to be able to understand what you say. And that does, I think.
I wish it was better conditions, because it would be even more magical to be able to zoom in on the mountain.
Well, see,
it's so good.
It's actually good conditions, because between there and there, you're actually able to explain to me what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I would venture to guess, Sean, that if the sun were over here, those would look like that. I really do think that that's giving us an angle of a silhouette.
Yeah, it's behind.
Because if you look at the mountains right there, that's the same thing as that.
Yeah.
But right here in the middle,
yeah,
you've got this angle on the sun right there. Because even that one out there is milky.
Yeah. No, and I think that's the biggest problem with what Jose's saying. Because I was thinking about that in Florida. You can see a lot. It's advertised. There's a lot of moisture there. Here, we have this. This is a problem with coast that we get the haze in the mornings and evenings. So we get little specks where it can ever be perfect. That's what you're saying. Even if it's perfect, even if it's like it is now, which one is the right one? How do you know which one's the right one?
Exactly. That's it. Yep. Again, that's it. So I busted my first camera. This is Sandra 1. You have a P900? No. Okay. I just wanted. So this whole base right here, I was taking shots on the Chesapeake, and I was in the water. Fucking should have left it in the water because it was so deep. The water was like up to here. It's not going to go anywhere. But I just freaked out. So I brought it up. I brought it up on the shore, and I retracted the lens because I didn't want it to be top heavy. I looked at it. I'm like, okay, but the front leg was close enough to the water. The water started to lap up, and it just took it out, and it just took a nosedive straight into the water, dude.
Okay.
So Toady told me to get some silicone packets.
Yep.
So I put it in a sealed container for 2 weeks. And I wasn't sure. I was dying to get back out, so I bought another one because I didn't know. Didn't know if it was going to work. And she ended up coming back. So I don't know if you've seen the channel Cool Pix P900 Sandra. Yeah. So this is Sandra 1, and that's Sandra 2.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But I just glued it right now because it just came apart today again. It's just it doesn't even matter if it's super glued. It lasts for about 2 weeks and then it comes undone. So yeah, but it's crazy. Do you know what a hydrofoil is? Old school boats and airplanes used to be able to hover above the water on smaller planes underneath. Like I don't know.
Like in Florida. Like it has the hydrophos that like you got the fan on the back and they spin across the top, or those are the skirts.
Okay.
That hover kind of.
Yeah. But it doesn't hover without the foot that's under. But the foot's under the water. So anyway, this guy's got a surfboard, and it's got an extension with a smaller fin. Actually, looks like an airplane. It's got 2 wings and then 2 tails.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so, but he's up above the water,
Yeah.
like 3 feet, surfing.
Okay.
So he was getting ready, and I said, "Hey, you want me to take some shots?" She's like, "Yeah, sure." And his buddy had a Sea-Doo, and his buddy would take him out, get him some speed, and then drop him into a cresting wave. I was talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, you see those waves that are coming in? There's this one section where these waves are just rolling. He's like, there's a reef right there. He's like, yeah, that's where the great whites like to hang out. And there were like 20 surfers out there.
No.
There's no way I would do that.
That's how La Jolla is.
No way.
I used to go boogie board out in La Jolla. Then I found out when I got older, like La Jolla, that's where like all the sharks breed.
That left you alone. But now that you know about it, forget it. I'm not going back. I know. I'm the same way, man.
See that wave surfing right there?
That's about it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
And I know that's dangerous.
Yeah, they'll come up after you. Yeah. And it was yesterday. A boogie boarder came up after he was done. He's like, "Did you see the shark?" He said that he was on the beach and he was watching the waves crest.
Yeah.
In the crest, he sees the
along.
Oh my word! I'm like, "Fuck no, man!
Yeah.
There's no way!"
He looks like I want to be out there. Yeah, like right where that water is right there. He'd be running along.
Yeah.
Good.
What was cool, like 2 years ago, I was with my nephews and my mom and my 2 youngest kids were with me. My brother-in-law surfs, so he's got every board that you can think of. So he had a nice 10-foot board. So my daughter was 10, and I took her out, and she got up on it because she's so small. I mean, there's no problem.
Yeah,
she
yeah,
could
yeah.
just stand up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like me, I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
you know.
I know exactly.
But she popped right up, and we were waiting for the next wave, and this little harbor seal pops his head up like, I don't know, like 30 yards away, just sitting there watching us. She thought that was the greatest thing ever. Like, I'm just glad I wasn't a shark.
I've seen a lot of dolphins.
Yeah.
Dolphins, right away, like, pay attention, you know what they are. But in the corner of your eye,
Yeah. I've got some pictures where I've caught the dolphins just breaking the water,
yeah.
but it was just the dorsal fin. Totally looks like a shark.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I think the first problem is why don't ever come out here
And just what?
and look at the look.
Yeah.
Like I said, I see what you mean because I'm here. I don't think this understand that I couldn't understand.
Yeah. Well, you know, that makes sense. I mean, it does make sense. It's kind of like what I say sometimes. I'm like, I hear what you're saying. I need to see what you're talking about. Not just enough to say it. I need to see what you're saying. Yeah, I can pull those up and maybe see if they have gotten any more interesting.
Right there's a trash can, right? Check it.
Trash can? Yeah. So this one that we were talking about before,
Yep.
I think, I don't remember correctly. So why don't you tell me what you remember? Can you remember what we were looking at? Like, what did that look like to you?
I think we were talking about whether or not that crane was that tall,
Right.
or if it was stretching more.
Okay, but does it look any different to you in another way? It does to me. I don't want to say anything just yet. I mean, I took stills, so I can
Mhm.
easily do a comparison.
Well, to me, it looks like the bottom looks weird. It doesn't have the detail.
What about that extension in the middle again at the top? That's what I'm talking about. Do you see anything else that you might think is different?
The cranes, you mean?
Yeah, the middle one, the tallest one. If not, it's okay. I
No, I'm
just
not seeing what you're saying.
okay. I think it could possibly be thinner.
Okay, so it's
So earlier when we were looking at it, it might have been fatter. I might be misremembering,
okay. I see what you're saying.
but for some reason when I looked at it, I thought that the first thing I thought was it's not as fat.
But it's very prominent from here.
Yeah.
But again, like I was 20 minutes ago, I don't remember if it was that prominent. Right now, it looks like it's clearing up almost. But it's weird. I see. That irritates me. I know exactly what you're saying now.
I got a great. Let's see. I was here in November 2018, and I was shooting for the very first time out here, and it was absolutely nothing but just clarity. So you can see the different the different ranges. You got that one that comes down low.
Mm-hmm.
Got the one behind it, and then that little one right there.
Yep.
I got like on that one that's farthest left. You can see. Can you see how far the isthmus is coming out?
Yep. The small one.
Right. I got trees on that in the silhouette,
Oh, wow.
and it was just fantastic shot.
Okay, so pretty much every morning you wake up and go, okay, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Because then what Barney and Rumpus keep telling you they're going to be able to do is they're going to be able to tell you, hey, Travis, this is the day to go out there. And this is the day to take those pictures because we did the data and that would be the clearest days.
Well, yeah, okay, but see, the clearest days, in my opinion, are going to prove too much because you're going to see more and not less. So, in my opinion, if you're going to be arguing for curvature, you want to see less of the object so that you can say that's behind curve.
But you're going to want to see less of the any miraging that would give you a different optic.
I suppose again it depends because what I was talking about before. This is what blew my mind with Jose's vanishing line stuff. So this whole object could be sitting out there, and it can be distorted, fuzzy,
Okay.
wavy.
Yeah.
You know, the crane could go zigzag, but there's no mirage.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
There's no mirrored
there's
image.
No mirage
right?
happening. Yeah.
So what we have to so then if this is the sea level, and this is where the object is sitting, there's no mirage. You can there's so if there's no mirage, I would say there's minimal refraction. There's still refraction because you got waviness and blurriness and you know it's moving kind of.
Something.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you bring a mirage into it, not the water, but the mirage blocks. The mirage is the obstruction. So if, like I said today, the lower fifth of Gina was blocked by a mirage,
and you see this, and you see this mirroring, but you don't see that mirroring.
But what's behind the mirror is still here.
Is pale down.
Correct. But you can't see it because this has been mirrored.
But then in that situation, that's when a clear, perfect day gives you the...
No, I get that.
But you're saying, which one of these is the clear? Which one of these is the clear image then?
Well, but that's what I'm saying. On a less refractive day, you're going to get the whole thing. So then on those days, I'm going to go, where's the curve, bro? The whole thing's there. So that's why I was saying before, when I have the image of that, it's not that one, it's the Gina one, but you can't see it. If I have a picture, like I remember, it was last year, this month, or I mean, the last week of January. It was a year ago. I'm looking out there, and it's on video. I'm going around. I'm looking for it. I don't see it. I got 2 bunny ears
Yeah.
looking over the fucking
I've
horizon.
seen those pictures, I think.
It's huge.
You just started showing those recently, right? The ones that Jose was talking about.
I brought it up. I brought it up last year on Flat Earth Debate.
Okay.
It didn't really go anywhere. I wasn't worried about it. I figured its time will come.
Yeah, okay.
But what I'm saying is I'm panning along looking for a full blown oil rig. Boop!
You see that.
So the question is, yesterday when I saw the whole oil rig,
Yep.
where'd it go?
So you're saying that's not curvature. Okay, I see what you're saying. But then at that point, you'd almost have to know instantly the temperature there.
But see, that's not. That's what I disagree with. If you want to break down, like this is the way I put it. Say you're a dentist, and you know everything about the mouth, and you're a pretty good looking dentist, and you get smiles from your female clients because they like you.
Yeah.
But all you can do is analyze the fucking smile, and you miss out on a date. That's the data that you're talking about. What's the temperature? No. Look at this. Don't worry about what makes that possible, because that's not the issue. The issue is
it's doing
is what this reveals to you in both a full blown image and a distorted image. I agree with you.
That's reason.
I agree with you that the constituent parts of the Ætherband are temperature, humidity, all that stuff. I agree with all of that. But that has nothing to do with what you see.
And we're arguing each optic as if we're saying it's curvature. But if it's curvature, then it's not going to be.
Correct. Yeah.
So something's doing curvature. You should see it. For what we're telling you, when we look at those rigs, we should see at some point, even an average, regardless of conditions, that we could say is hidden. But because of what you've seen, there is no average. She's saying that's curvature. That's the
So if we come over here, and I have this, and I can show it to you from this again last year, right? I'm panning along right here. That oil rig is cut in half in an inferior mirage, and the water line is like boom.
Right against.
Okay.
Right against the mirage.
But then I go over to this one, and I can see the whole thing. And they're both 12 miles away. If they're both 12 miles away, why the fuck isn't that one cut in half?
Yeah. And how are we saying it?
It's crazy, dude. And I mean, it just happens to be. If flat Earth weren't even an issue, that still would blow my mind. It would still blow my mind. Yeah.
So this argument is on the flat Earth basis, but this is realistically your way of distinguishing from flat Earth, distinguishing from the globe, and you're saying this is my question.
Yeah.
Yeah. You show me a picture, I can go, that's curvature. Okay. So tomorrow, I get half of that.
Yeah.
Is that curvature?
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
The next day, I got the whole thing. Is that curvature?
Where'd it go? Yeah.
And we're arguing with you. Yeah, but if this was the reason why you see this.
Yeah, but what's the temperature? What's the temperature?
You're looking for more of a broad answer of this is what's happening, and we're giving you these little details that could explain it. But again,
it's a part of it. It's a part of it. Yeah. How much flour did you put in the cake?
Yeah, exactly. That was again. That's the reason I wanted to come up because again, I can watch your videos and I can see what you see through that, but now I'm seeing what you're seeing because again, that the two big platform that we're looking at, and you said, yeah, why is it doing that? You're able to explain to me, and I'm able to see what you're seeing. So I'm definitely happy.
Good, excellent. Yeah, most deaf. So the one thing that I do think, and I say this tongue in cheek, but I also think that it's true. I do think that I have something to contribute as a Copernicus. And I do believe that the superior mirage has been misnamed. It's been misunderstood. It's been misinterpreted.
And I'm happy I can do this now. And I apologize to you because we had been talking about looming, and we were showing that one picture of the sailboat that looks like it's hovering on it, or the one Eric just showed with the tennis courts and the big container ship that looks like it's hovering. And my whole time I'm like, that's looming, and everyone went, and everyone, I don't think anyone even said anything, but you do this thing the next day, and you're looking at that sailboat and going, it's not fucking looming. Guy in that astrophysics guy doesn't know what he's talking about. And I'm going, Travis has got it in the mind. He's telling me an astrophysicist doesn't know what he's talking about. And then Airbus came on and went, that's not looming. That's a fog patch, actually. And it's like those kind of things you don't look much into. And I gotta say I apologize. I jumped on for that.
Well, you know.
And I remember in the stream you going, that's not fucking looming. And I'm going, that's looming. What are you talking about?
What do you think? You're smarter than an astrophysicist?
Yeah. But again, it's
Keep him in line, Alicia. From here on out, okay? Just use the whip. So anyway, here's my working thesis right now. A superior mirage is really an inferior mirage misinterpreted.
That's what I was kind of thinking. It was, so an inferior mirage is going to mirror you, or mirror the object, where the superior mirage mirrors the object reverse.
Okay, right? Keep that in mind. The inferior mirage has the actual object above and the mirror below.
Yes.
The superior mirage is an inferior mirage where okay, let me think about this. I got to do this.
It's weird. It's inverted, flipped, almost, right?
I'm having a brain cramp. I'm trying to think of how I was thinking about it the other night because okay. No, I'm losing it. I can't get it. It's too abstract. I got to write it down. Okay, so I think this is it. The inferior mirage seems to be obvious because you can see the physical object with the inferior mirage below it.
Yeah. Okay.
What happens with the superior mirage is they think that the original object is over the curve,
Behind it. Okay.
and then what you're seeing above is the mirage.
Yeah. Okay.
But what I'm suggesting is that what you're seeing above is the physical object, and then whatever happens in the middle is it just needs reworked.
I see what you're saying, but that would be. See, in the picture that I'm thinking of with the ship and the tennis people or whatever, that was a fog thing. What you're saying would be something besides fog.
Yeah, right, exactly that, because that's not right. But that accomplishes the same thing.
Yeah.
Because you can't see. So right now we can see the water going into the distance, and there's nothing really for us to question whether or not the water goes up to those oil platforms. Mm-hmm. But you see what I call the aqua bands. You see that lighter band of blue?
Yep.
And then the darker band above it?
Yeah.
Let's just pretend that entire band right there looked like the sky. But those oil rigs are floating.
Sitting on it.
Right? Mm-hmm. But there's water there. The water's there. It's just that it's behind the mirage.
So distinguishing whether or not that okay, so see that's another problem with camera versus what it's saying and describing. Because in the camera, I can see exactly what I'm talking about. I see, looking out right now, I can see 4 different layers.
On the water?
Yeah. If you go from wave straight to the horizon.
Right.
I see one, the broad area, a band, the blue area, and then that dark band you're talking about. And between that, I see what you're saying. On your videos and pictures, most videos and pictures, you don't see all that. I don't see all that. That's what you're saying. But that thin range you're talking about, that you put, I always look at it in the physical body. I can see right now. I question because you're seeing different layers of ocean.
Yeah, in the distance.
Yeah.
Yep. It would just be like if you're looking over a farmyard and there's different fields.
Yeah. And you're just seeing the distinguishing aspect of it. You're not seeing the whole field.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing to shoot right now. I wouldn't be wasting my time shooting anything.
Are you going live right now? What you have, or is that taking days?
I don't know. I don't think so. I really need to actually look back over the past 2 days.
Now, how long does it take you to get back? Because this is what you take.
Huh?
You drive this back
to Maryland?
Yeah.
Oh no, I flew.
Oh, okay. So you have
No, this is all my mom's. This is all my mom's stuff.
That's even better. That's perfect. I was trying to figure out how you were jumping back and forth so fast. I'm like, that must have been a quick drive.
No.
Okay. That's a perfect setup for after that. Fly out and then do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so this is always a hit or miss. See what you see, and then what people are saying, the observer height, you're saying the location, you're saying the elevation. To you, it looks a little different to all what you're talking about.
Here, like right now, like if I went down on the beach and I went here, I wouldn't give a shit about it.
It's still, there's still going to be an object we need to talk about.
If I was up there at 400 feet, it's completely different. That matters.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
10 feet and 15 feet.
You
like Rumpus said the other day, he's like, I would want you to get me a barometric reading of the sea level, and then about 10 feet, and then about 15. I said, Rumpus, you think there's going to be 3 different readings in 15 feet, dude?
Even if there was, how do you ask one person to do all that?
You know what I mean?
You're saying you need a team.
Right. I mean, but anyway, if I walk down there, I mean, I guess if it's closer to the water. I suppose if it's closer to the water, there's going to be a differential. But
you're still going to be balancing out between the actual.
Yeah. But see, my point is, what does the temperature where I'm at here have to do with that oil rig? Because I have no idea what's going on 12 miles away.
I could see it mattering, not so much data for that to even matter. That's asking too much.
But again, right? So let's say for instance, I knew that and this is what I did in Chesapeake. I got on Chesapeake, and they don't do a breakdown like I look for the conditions on Chesapeake Bay in Havre-de-Grace or whatever. But that's Havre-de-Grace. Yeah. But I'm looking over at Earlton 9 miles away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so is what they're giving me here, does it take that into consideration?
Yeah.
Because that's where I'm like, this doesn't matter. If I'm doing it on my own, I'm not going to do that.
And then that also means if Rumpus wants the barometric pressure here, he needs the barometric pressure there.
Exactly.
And that means you got to get on a boat.
Exactly.
You got to do something to get the pressure there. You can't just guess.
Yep.
Yeah. I need. Well, you can't do 100. Yeah, but that's what you're saying. So that boat, having a rental or something like that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look around too, because next time you come out, you can make a good plan out of it.
The other thing that I was thinking about was getting a ham radio and seeing if I could talk to anybody out there. Shh. Jackie C. Because the marine tracker gives you their call sign, gives you their boat, but their boat
name,
their handle, and the handle. Yeah. So I was like, dude, if I had a ham radio, that'd be kicking. Because then I can actually say, do you have a PayPal account? Yeah, I'm gonna wire you. How much you want for this from? I want to rent you for an hour.
Do a couple laps real quick.
Yeah. Like, yeah, sure, we'll do that, man.
Yeah, that would tell you, if I see the boat in that band, that's going to tell you the distance, tell you what's possible, what's really there, or...
Yeah. It's not easy, man. It's not as easy as you'd like to think.
I'm excited like when you do upload this stuff, because then I can see what I saw with the camera, and then I'll be able to really go. Okay, that's like I know right now when I talk about it, you go, I see the details in the observation that because this is what's happening. You're describing what me and you are looking at right now. We're looking at it through your camera, so the descriptions don't match up to us. But I see what you're saying. I see why they don't match up. I see why that idea of an Ætherband makes zero sense to me. Because at no point will you be able to go, Sean. Look at that those rigs. Now we know that, and I've already told you. I think that the rigs are in that same area. May have said this good area though, but over here,
Can't even see him right now. Can't even see him. Where'd they go?
45 minutes ago we were looking at it.
Where'd the rigs go? Where'd they go?
Yeah. And you're trying to tell us, so, okay, what part of that is curvature? That shit what we're looking at over there isn't curvature?
Because the y-axis and the x-axis are all curving away. If that's 12 miles away and that's 12 miles away and that's 12 miles away.
I see what you're saying because when we were looking at those and you showed me with the camera, you were able to actually see it. And it's not.
So then think about that.
We're not talking about the condition that wipes that out from our view.
Correct.
We're talking about when you zoomed in and we saw those
Correct.
regular legs.
Correct.
But we're not able to see the same. When we look at it, we're not seeing the same. We're not seeing the same body.
Correct. Yeah.
I see. We're talking. We're constantly talking through each other on what we're talking about. You're talking about this. We're talking about this. You're talking about this. We're talking about this. And I think that's where we get off. But I see what you're saying. I would back off and do that.
Well, you know, I mean, just keep asking questions.
Yeah,
you know.
Ætherband doesn't. I thought about that before. Ætherband doesn't discredit anything. It just tells you, okay, well, from here to here, from here to there, from there to there, why is it different? And you're telling me it's curved. Why is it different? You're saying it's curved. No one's answering the questions. You're just going, Travis, you're making this up. You're making that, this, and this. Does that make sense to why when we have a conversation about from here to there, the miraging line? That's why all those conversations we have are always agreeing. I mean, it's always like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're questioning, why is that different? And when you're saying that's curvature.
And not only that, but tomorrow, why is that different than today?
Yeah, well, yeah, I definitely get what you're saying. Now, because some of the levels, and each time we're going, every time we see that level, we're going, curvature, Travis? And we're going, okay, but
makes me so mad.
but refraction,
guys.
You say refraction does all these miraging things. Yes, you get it.
Yeah.
But each one of these images, you're telling me is curvature, and you're telling me this is why it's curvature, but it doesn't comport with what I'm looking at right now.
Okay.
It's not as deep. You're not trying to debunk it. You're trying to say, no, the band is what I'm questioning. That band, that's what I'm questioning. And I gave it a name because it makes it easier for me to tell you where I'm questioning, for you to tell me why it's curvature, why it's this, why it's that. And you're not getting answers, and when it's frustrating.
Well, I guess, again, I think that I would refine what you just said by saying I'm not questioning the Ætherband. I'm interpreting the Ætherband as an alternative for the explanation for how things are obscured or distorted, and that's called curvature. So again, this is how I've said it on, when I do my closing remarks.
Yeah.
Obstruction is never curvature. It's always due to the effect of the Ætherband, whether it's a mirage, whether it's refraction, whether it's distortion, or any other optical whatever. The Ætherband is the cause of how those appear to us. And how those appear to us have nothing to do with them being over a curve. Because of your that's part of it, but not only that. I think the one thing that helped me start to process this was I was doing observations here, long distance, like this 20 miles.
Yeah.
but then I was seeing the same effect at 6 miles. And if I'm seeing the same effect at 6 miles, and this is what I did with my hangout with Danielle, I said that if miraging does not account for the obstruction, then every time you see the end of the water,
Yeah.
that's curvature. Every time, no matter what the distance. Because
you're saying, okay, and you're saying we're jumping the horse. I'm telling you that's curvature.
right, because what you have to end up saying is that it's being brought up over the curve so I can see it. Whereas I'm saying I see it because it's extending into the distance. And there's a boat, so my palm is the Ætherband
Okay.
when it goes into the mirage. You can see my boat, there's no miraging. Boom, it hits it, starts to get distorted, can't see it very well. It's now going farther away into the distance, but it doesn't look like a boat anymore. But it's still on water.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's above the water. So the mirage that starts right here, that has to be curved. That has to be curved in the baller argument.
I see what you're saying.
Because I've been told.
Oh, so the way the light, we're saying the light brings the object down. You're saying you should see the boat or the object constantly going like that.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing the light.
Yeah.
And the fact that we don't see anything under it says that light has to be coming from that way, not up and over. Like we should see, like when we see it, when something comes up and over, like we're saying, you're saying that we should see something in that pattern there.
Okay. I can follow that. Sure. Yeah.
Trying to get out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy I came out because it definitely changes what you say, and I understand you saying. I think that's one of the biggest problems we're having. Because you're describing what you're seeing. If you're not describing it, you do, but your main description of something is what we're looking at right now. Whereas when we're investigating your observation,
I guess it would be almost like an officer listening to someone give their vantage point, as opposed to their being their first person.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know everything, but what I saw.
Yeah, but even then, if I'm the guy hearing what you're saying, I'm that much farther removed.
Exactly. Okay.
You're trying to express what you saw. I'm trying to put myself into that to interpret what you're telling me as the same thing.
Yeah. My only acknowledgement of it is what I have.
But then if we could then just freeze time and I take you, and then you're like, oh.
Okay. Well, that's exactly
I totally didn't get what you were telling me in the sweat room.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're doing right now.
Right. Although it's even a shitty day, so I'm glad that it's worked out for you to like kind of put pieces together. I wish that it was a better display for you.
Well, like I said, I don't get to see this. So even what I'm seeing right now,
Good.
It's just seeing it in general. Yeah.
It'd be better if it wasn't chemmed up.
That's it. I don't know. Here's the thing, man. I know they are spraying, but I also know, you could like saying this. I don't want to be backed by, and you hear a lot of fire people. I don't want to be backed by the connotation of fire attacks. Well, that's something that chemtrails have. So I know they're spraying. I don't use chemtrails because the sickness says chemtrails when they do. Right? So I don't use chemtrails because it takes away from what I'm trying to say. I know they cloud seed. In fact, they cloud seed in this area the more than anywhere else. Where they do it? Right off the street. It all right in. Mm-hmm. And they do it.
Yeah.
Can't say they don't. I can show you City Hall documents because they have to, when they do the contract for it, they have to make it public.
But see, I don't get it, dude. I would get that if you were bringing water, if you were making it rain, I would get that.
They do?
No. I mean, a lot.
Oh, no, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, see, so you remember when up here had the landslide, so really bad. That was actually due to clouds. So they did a bunch. They had 4 different projects in that time period range where what they do is. So today, it probably wouldn't work earlier today, when we had the little Paxton clouds, they would basically make that moisture 8-fold. And if you do that enough around the area, it's going to make it rain. Well, this time of year, we may get a little bit of rain, but a downpour of rain out here, we know what happens. We get mudslides. That's what happens. They try to time it. They don't have enough science behind it to say this is exactly how much we need to do to make it rain. But that's what they're doing the testing. The problem is they're not thinking about the effects of it. If we make it rain too much somewhere that it hasn't rained before, what's going to happen? Mudslides, flooding. Well,
Yeah, but didn't they also follow after a burn? So to me, I thought that went hand in hand. They burned off a lot of the shit that should have held the mud.
Yes. Yeah,
and then they
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, what gives the red flag on that is one of the things that brought cloud seeding to life was the fact that can we use it for fire suppression? So, like, we had the big fires here in California. Can we make rain and obviously put the fire out? They thought of that, but the problem was we can cloud seed, but we couldn't tell all the firefighters to back off because we're about to cloud seed and it's going to put the fires out. They can't guarantee it's going to rain like that. But they do a lot of projects out here. Santa Barbara does more than anywhere along the coast of California. Mainly because the offshore flow comes in and it pushes it all throughout. That's that. Any rain you've got, you get that long drought, you start getting rain all of a sudden, kind of meanders through it. And the problem is it doesn't work enough. You go, that's cloud seeding. That's nature. And it's actually a benefit for them. Why? Because when you get mudslides in Santa Barbara and millions of dollars of construction,
Yeah.
you don't have to sit in California for it. But chemtrails, they are doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Like people don't say, we are in the area where it happens most.
Let me check the picture and see if it's not getting washed out. How's it going, everybody? What we got? 11? Awesome. That's just banner right there. You guys gonna see a sunset pretty soon? I don't even know what time it is. So, all right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Still chatting with Sean G. Hope you guys are doing well. Let's get 2 more thumbs. So we have 10 and 10. 11 and 11. We need 3 more thumbs. 3 more thumbs. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow will be good, and I can get up there, get a higher vantage point, and just catch as catch can. Just never know.
That's the San Diego, make it rain. If San Diego gets rain, you don't get rain up here, I can shoot up. I may shoot up, but
What does your work depend on?
yeah, I'm a grading contractor. So if it rains, I can't work at all.
Yeah, Aaron's been out of work. He was supposed to go to China with his wife,
Oh, okay.
who's now 2 weeks in quarantine.
Oh shit!
She went to she's Chinese.
She went there before?
Well, he was supposed to go with.
Yeah.
But then he got some contracted jobs. He was like, "Honey, I can make some money while and why don't you go? You go to because it's her family and all that stuff."
Yeah.
So he stayed behind. It was raining the whole time, so he had no work done. He got no work done. But the other joke is, she's now 2 weeks in quarantine for a hoax. Did you see what right before you came, Ranty Flat Earth and Sleeping Warrior, before they started, Anthony put up a news release picture or whatever, and they had these. The way that he was describing it was, you had some guys in hazmats and other guys not in the same area where you're supposed to be quarantined. Like, why? What, are you immune? Yeah, how did you not have the hazmat? How'd you get away with that one? Yeah, that's it, right? Yeah.
I've been taught better before. Yeah, I can see. That big is definitely. It wouldn't clear up until later on anyway. Okay. I'm gonna head south.
All right, man.
But
it was so good.
Yeah,
good. Appreciate it,
man. I'm happy we could.
Alicia. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
I may go back later. Depends on how traffic is going south. But like I said, I have to say, my opinion of the Ætherband is different right now.
Good. Good. Well, let's keep asking questions, man. Right?
That's all we can do.
Good. Good.
But like I said, I'm good we are able to amend things
Yeah.
and meet up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again,
Bury the hatchet.
exactly.
Danielle wanted us to get married,
We'll see.
but I said bury the hatchet, not tie the knot.
Exactly. I already told her it ain't happening.
Yeah.
So between me and you, it can't happen. But
Yeah.
you can do that.
I'll start giggling again.
Yeah, sir. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Yeah.
Bye, everyone. Head south now.
Bye, Sean G.
All right, so how's it going?
All right, take care. All right, so I'm going to bring you guys back over here since the traffic is gone. I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts on that. I know that it was a little bit garbled at certain times because the Bluetooth was going, but why don't you guys talk at me? Who's out there? Weak. I don't know if that's for me or not. We still got only 8 thumbs, you guys. We got 12 thumbs. We need 4 more thumbs, 4 more likes. Well, 12 of you have been hanging out, so hopefully it was because of the audio. I hope you guys were able to catch a lot of that. I thought we had a good discussion with Sean G. We have an hour and a half stream right now. I think I'm going to wrap it up because I am tired of standing and I got to get some other stuff wrapped up here. I got to go get propane and yeah, so I think I'm going to wrap this up. This has been another episode of The Plain Truth. I'm your host, Travis Finley. Yay! Sean G and Travis. Hannah Anderson. This has been The Plain Truth. I'm your host, Travis Finley.